Hi, I'm Danny, and today I have my January TBR. I know what you're thinking. I said just a few videos ago that I never do TBRs. At least I think it was a few videos ago. That video may actually not be up yet. But I said in that video that I never do TBRs because I normally don't, because I never stick to them. I'll read one book from that list, maybe 2, 3 tops. But so my friend and I issued a challenge to each other this year. Well, technically it's 2 challenges. So we both did one similar thing and issued an extra challenge to each other. For her, 1, she has to read 1 paranormal book a month. 2, I took about 30 books from her TBR and she took 30 books from my TBR, and we both wrapped them in wrapping paper. And once you pick that book and unwrap it, you have to read it. That's part of the challenge. For me, she challenged me to do TBRs again and read at least one of the books that she wrapped. But considering that we both wrapped 30 books, even if we read 2 a month, that's only 24 books in a year. Not that bad of a challenge. I'm trying to read the 2 a month, but I may only read 1 a month some months. But I'm aiming for 2, so by the end of the year, maybe I'll be done with most or all of the wrapped books. So we're both going to try and stick to that as long as we can, and I'll tell you guys which one of us breaks, because as much as I have encouraged her, she refuses to start a booktube channel of her own. So with that out of the way, let's get started. These are the 2 wrapped books that I chose for the month. This was her birthday wrapping paper, and then this was my Christmas wrapping paper. Oh, something else we did do to these wrapped books was that we gave each other little clues on the outside of them. So for mine, she wrote YA, PN, V. So that would be a YA paranormal vampire book, I believe. And so we came up with a standard code for both of us. So we both wrote out like YA, of course, a young adult, PN, paranormal, and then V. I wrote vamp on mine, but I'm pretty sure V on her card means vampire. But let's see. And I was right. And I have Some Girls Bite by Chloe Neal. I've been meaning to start this one for a while, and so now I can finally read it. Yeah, we don't get a main character's name on the back of this. So our main character, I want to say I've seen her name as Marcy or Mary or something with an M, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, I don't know what it is. But our main character is, this is an everyday world until vampires, they pretty much come out of the coffin and announce to all of Chicago that they are there, so they are part of an everyday part of life. But as far as I know, they are the only supernaturals to come out, though I do know that there are other supernaturals throughout this series, such as shapeshifters, werewolves, and different types of fae, such as nymphs. And our main character is attacked in the middle of night one day, and she is turned into a vampire by the master of Kerrigan House. And she has to navigate her way through the vampire world, learning all its rules and what her place will be. And I do know one thing about this series is that she does get into a relationship with the master of the house later down the road, but that's pretty much all I know. And so I'm looking forward to this one. I picked up this at my library. It is What the Spell by Brittany Giragodales, I believe her name is. Our main character in this is Brooklyn Sparks. She is not a popular girl, but she is not unpopular. She was kind of like in that middle of high school, which I guess kind of was me actually, because I wasn't popular, although I did sometimes hang out with the popular crowd, but I also hung out with like the goth people and the uber nerds, and I was pretty much everywhere in high school. I hung out with the popular kids, the weirdos, the goths, the nerds, you name them, I hung out with them at least a few times. So our main character is kind of at that middle point. She's not popular, but she's not a loser either. And then she becomes of age, and her strict parents finally unlock her powers. And other than giving herself a complete makeover, she finally unlocks her true power, which is passed down through the family line, and she figures out that she is from a line of magical matchmakers. And after so many years, Brooklyn is getting exactly what she wants, including the undivided attention of her crush. But along with getting everything she's ever wanted, Brooklyn now realizes that she now has everything to lose if someone were to find out that she is a witch, and she may suffer the same fate as her Salem ancestors. Okay, next I have another wrapped book, and this one is YA FNY. FNY, I believe, is fantasy and magic. So YA fantasy magic. Hardback YA fantasy magic. That could be so many books from my TBR. Okay, let's just open it. I have no clue what it is. Ah, okay. Makes sense now. And I have Karvall by Stephanie Garber. If you've been around BookTube for a minute, you know exactly what this book is. It is about this traveling circus that just pops up in a town, and our character goes with her sister, only for her sister to disappear, for her to realize that she is now a part of the carnival games, and she has, I think, 3 nights to find her sister, or she will never see her sister again. I know this is the first book, and what I used to think was a duology, but now that I've looked at the Goodreads releases for 2019, I actually know that it is now a trilogy. And I'm not sure if it was originally supposed to be a trilogy or not, but I know it's a trilogy now. And that the 3rd book in the series is supposed to be coming out later on this year. I'm not sure when, because it wasn't one of those books I was really hyped on, because I hadn't even read the first one yet. So now I have this to look forward to. Next I have Twice Tempted by Janine Frost. I also picked this one up at my library today. This is the 2nd book in the Night Prince series following Once Burned. I read that a few months ago. I can't remember, but this is a spin-off from the Night Hunter series. It is about the character in that book. You find out in book 6 or 5 or 6, his Vlad, who is, yes, Vlad Dracula, Vlad Tepes. He became a vampire. I know when Kat met him, she was like real excited. So this continues to follow Lila and Vlad. Lila's powers have not been working the best since she spent them all in the last book. And if that isn't bad enough, Vlad has now started acting distant ever since he heard her thoughts that she might be falling in love with him. But she is a modern woman, and she refuses to accept this cold shoulder forever, especially to a vampire who won't even admit whether or not he may be in love with her. And so after circumstances sends Lila back to the circus she grew up in, then she finds herself in the crosshairs of a killer, and she has to decide whether or not to trust the vampire prince who ignites her passion, or the tortured knight who wants to be more than friends. And because this is Janine Frost, I have no doubt that this will be a great series, although I am expecting maybe a 2nd book slump, but I think this is only a 3 or 4 book series, so if these characters are going to get together, it's either got to be in this book or the next one, but I'm pretty sure it'll be in this one, because especially seeing how they work together in the 1st book. Well, that is my January TBR, and I will see you guys next time.